Hey guys, Katie Taylor here, and today's video is all about the Creative Design Team Days of December sketchbook, where we will be showing you how to use the sketchbook to document your December. I did want to just take a little bit of time and show you how I organize my December daily or my Days of December. Mainly the main staples that I'm going to be using, not stuff that's like every day that I have around me. So I am using one of the organizational totes from Close to My Heart. It's very simple to use. It closes up nicely. It stacks nicely with my other ones. And so I just kind of wanted to walk you through that. So you can see here, this little section is pretty much all my embellishments. I have various either ribbon or shimmer trims that I will be using from my stash. I also have embellishments for shakers. I have sequins. I have little fillers. I have old things. And a lot of these transfer from year to year. So that's why some of these may seem like they don't match. So we'll just kind of have to look at them and see. I've also got some more sequins and glitter gems. And then some super old things. Now again, these were silver from one year that I used them, but I like to just transfer them from year to year, just in case. This little section is mainly all my larger things, my stickers. I've got some interactive things here. I've got the Christmas Story embellishment pack. Chelsea walked you through these. Really, really good. It's got press board, it's got glitter, and then it's got these acrylic shapes that can be layered on top of it. I have the Christmas Story pocket cards. It's going to make it really easy to do those 4x6 and 3x4 pockets. And then over here I have some pre-cut pieces that I have already cut for future dates. I also have my bases, my 6x8 and my 4x6s. And I have cut those like Julie told you to cut them, and I'll briefly go over that, but if you haven't seen her video yet, super smart. So I've cut those, and I will be using toffee, but I am using the light side instead of the dark. And then I have journaling strips. I have various shapes of our shaker elements. Even though shaker elements, foam and acetate, are pretty close to me on a regular basis, they aren't really. So my regular foam tape won't be in here because it's off to the side. My regular adhesive won't be in here, but my shaker window foam and acetate is. And then I like to keep the inks that I'll be using, as well as some sponges, and then just some fun washi tape in case I decide to use that. And after I am done making a page or two, it all goes back in here. The lid goes on it, and then it gets stacked right next to my desk. And then as soon as I print photos, those go in here as well. Just makes it all nice and tidy. And then you'll also notice that I've already prepped all my number circles. So I did a whole lot of prep, and that's what makes that really easy to get your December documented. We're all busy. So if you go ahead and do your base cutting, and then especially whatever element you're going to use for your numbers, that helps tremendously. So the other thing I have done is I've gone ahead and I've put my memory protectors in my book. This year I am using an old retired Julep book. It's one of our everyday life albums. And I'm using it because I already have two black, I already have two red, and then I already have a craft one. So I thought it would be fun. This one's been in the wrapper, and so I just thought it would be fun to use this one. It somewhat matches Sage that is in the Christmas Story. So if you have a Julep, you may want to consider that. I have already put in memory protectors. So I have just my basic 6x8 in the front of the book, and then I have my 4x6, and then I have my 3x4s. And that way they're all here. And so when I sit down to make a day, because I never know if there's going to be one photo, maybe two, maybe three, I can just turn to one of these memory protectors in my book, take it out, decorate it, and then flip to the front of the book and put it in where it belongs. Here is a look at that sketchbook. You guys have already seen this numerous times throughout the week from the other girls. We've got a little snippet about us. We have a Days of December prompt. So if you are kind of stuck of like, okay, it's Tuesday, December 7th, what am I going to take a photo of? Then you can just turn to this prompt list and just pick something from it. You can see that there are well over 31. Again, those are either winter or Christmas related. And then we also have some sketchbook tips, because remember, this is just a sketchbook. Now, while each one of these sketches provides measurements for you, it's not a guide. So we don't really show you how to take all of these sketches and cut apart your 12 by 12 sheets of paper to make all of these, but it definitely will give you a starting point, and then just revisit all of these videos and it'll definitely kind of show you what direction we went and then what direction you can go as well. So I'm going to flip to the one that I will be doing, or the two. So I'm going to be doing the two on page 9. So much like everyone else, I'm going to be using Christmas Story. And I've got the sticker sheet here. The only thing I am doing is I am actually using the Christmas Story scrapbooking workshop kit for a couple of reasons. So you can see here the gorgeous paper. And then I prefer, or I really like that it has photo placeholders, but I really like the tag elements that are in the workshop kit. So all these little tags are going to make it super easy for me to add journaling. I've got some scallops there that I can trim down to either 6 or 8 inches. And then look at this full sheet of tags. So I am super excited about using those. You guys know me. I try to do it as fast, simple, and easy as I can. So there's not a whole lot of die cutting or anything like that. So this workshop kit is going to make this super simple, or at least I hope so. And I have also random stamped a piece of 12 by 12 paper to mimic animal print. So I got that idea from my crafty friend and fellow close to my heart maker, Katie Weeks. And so in part of my prep, I went ahead and I random stamped a full 12 by 12, and I went ahead and cut that into 6 and 8 inch lengths. And then that way throughout the album, I can cut them even down further to either 1 inch, ½ inch, whatever the case may be. And I'm just going to sprinkle that because you guys know that I love animal print. I've got my cute little animal print nails. You guys always see my watch. But our house is also decorated in kind of the plaid and animal print. So I thought that that would be a fun aspect to add to this year's album. I've never done it before, so I thought I would try it out. So if you take a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock and you cut it down the middle at 6 inches, then you can cut it at 8 inches, and then you're left with a 4 by 6. You can cut this side to 8 inches, and you can cut these into 2 3 by 4s. So that is what I have done, and that's what you saw in my kit. Now I didn't cut a full, so you get 2 each 12 by 12. I didn't cut all 30 because I am going to be using some of these here, and then I might actually use some pattern paper as the bases, but I did go ahead and cut a bunch, so those are already done for me. So now we can get to the fun part, which is creating, and this will not take very long because of the kit that I have already made and I walked you through. I am just going through here, pulling the base pages as well as some ribbon and some of the embellishments that I think I might use. Now, what I am doing is I am actually making these pages ahead of time because I do a December daily regularly. I don't really have any other past Christmases to document. So I'm going to be using this book for this Christmas. So you'll see just a lot of placeholders in place, and then I will add my photos as we do those activities and as December progresses. So for this layout, I apologize, but I thought I was recording and I was not. Believe it or not, that happens pretty often. So I just basically adhered down the pattern piece of paper, my random stamped piece of paper, and then a piece of the pine shimmer trim. And those are just adhered to the right edge of the paper. And then I have my photo mat that is actually matted on one of the 4x6 pieces of toffee cardstock. Now for my date circle, I am putting a piece of foam tape, but I'm not taking the backing off. That side will hang over my photo, and I'll need to slide my photo in underneath that date once I take it. I'm going to just adhere this down right quick and then peel this off of my Versamat, trim that shimmer trim, again using my micro tip scissors, my non-stick, so it doesn't stick, and then using my rub and remove eraser to remove the adhesive off my Versamat. We are done with the Versamat, so now I can take a look at those tags that I will be using from the Christmas Story workshop kit. And I have 2 of them. Now I am cutting them in half because I want to use the other half on my other layout that I'll be sharing here in just a second. I do have these kind of at the left and a little bit lower than my date, just to kind of create that visual triangle. As far as my sticker sheet goes, there is a strip sticker that says Hot Cocoa. Now, while I am not going to actually put the date on these layouts yet, I do know that hot cocoa is one of the things that we do every year. We really have fun finding new recipes. We've even done 12 days of hot cocoa. So I am almost positive I will have a photo featuring hot cocoa. So I did not hesitate to go ahead and put that sticker down. I'm embellishing with a couple of the gold stars from that sticker sheet. And then I am bringing out my journaling strip stickers. These are already pre-cut to 4 inches. And then I'm just going to trim one just a little bit smaller. And that one will go up at the top of that 4-inch one. And then this is pretty much done. So I can bring out that other layout. Now, while these layouts aren't really 2-page layouts, you kind of want to make sure that the layouts that are facing each other have similar attributes. So we definitely will be using the pattern paper that I'm adhering glue to, and I will also be using another piece of that random stamped animal print. To elongate that just a little bit, because you know it is only 8 inches, I just cut it in half, and then my photo will actually hide where I have cut it. I'm using my Versamat to make sure those are lined up, and then I can just trim off the edges. Now, one thing about working with diagonals, you want to make sure that you have plenty of that off to the edge, so when you do diagonally cut it, then it won't be a blunt cut. I'm going to adhere this down, and then I can take this off and then just trim off that little piece. And then again, using my rub and remove eraser, remove the adhesive from the back of my layout and my Versamat. As far as the photo mat goes, this one actually, I'm going to keep pretty true to the sketch. It's kind of an offset photo, which I love just the versatility in that. And then again, with my date, I'm going to use 3D foam tape. Now, I am pretty sure I'm not going to use stamps. So I am not really worried about 3D foam tape, lagging or sagging in the middle. I'm probably either going to use die cut numbers, either the Moxie alphabet. I loved what Janice did with hers, or I may even use chipboard numbers or even acrylic. So since this layout is I might be facing that, I am going to bring in those journaling strips. I'm going to move this one over at the top over just a second. Just a little bit. There's just a little bit too much of that scarlet pattern paper showing. And then I'm going to bring out the sticker sheet. Again, what you do to one, you might want to do to the other. Now, there is no guarantee that these will be facing, but you will see a sprinkle of these stickers as well as these gold stars throughout my album, just in case when I go to actually choose which days will be next to each other, they will kind of be cohesive. I do try to find a spot for this sticker. It's just not going to work. So I'm going to put that back down, and then I'm going to go ahead and start looking at the tags that I cut off. I am using the liquid adhesive to adhere this one. Now, when I adhered my photo mat, I definitely left some of the space without adhesive, and that's going to allow me to tuck in those tags without really disrupting the photo that much. Just going to get that straightened up, and then I am going to bring in the sticker sheet again, and there are two little stickers at the bottom that say Christmas countdown. Now, again, I don't know what photo will go on here, but I can almost guarantee that we will either be counting down either with a 12 days of, or maybe even our countdown calendar that we use. I know that the kids used to fight over that. Now that our son is much older, he pretty much lets his sister do it unless he knows it's going to aggravate her for him to choose to do it. But I know that one of them definitely will be doing that, so I can have a photo for that. As far as the date goes, I don't know what date I'm going to take a picture of that. So once again, I'm leaving that date circle blank. I'm going to add some of the gold stars up at the top just to kind of bring that top and that middle section in. I already had put some on there, but I really like the look of both of those. And instead of adding ribbon to these open holes from the die cut tags, I'm actually using clear sparkles to cover those holes, because you guys know that I love to cover the holes. So here's a look. So if they were to face each other, this is probably how I would do it. You could probably flip it. But again, I like that that right layout has those elongated 8-inch strips that kind of just make your eye stop. Now remember, we are going to offer this Days of December sketchbook. The link will be down below, as well as a link to the playlist for the other creative design team girls who have already shown what they've used the sketchbook for. I will also leave links down to all the products below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out the other videos in the playlist linked above.